Hey guys, my name is Ryan Central and welcome back to another Anthem video. Anthem is a game, for better or worse, that has already received a good amount of criticism or just flat out hate. This can mostly be narrowed down to the fact that it's EA, it's BioWare, which have disappointed with stuff like Mass Effect Andromeda, and because of that it does feel that for some people Anthem is doomed to fail. Whilst I do think it's important to be critical of certain aspects of the game and game developers as a whole, and to be cautious with certain titles, I do feel that this game does get a lot of unnecessary flack for certain things that are just misconceptions and are just flat out wrong. There's a lot of misunderstandings around the game and I wanted to talk about that in today's video, just to clear up a lot of miscommunications and a lot of things that you may not know about yourself. We'll be going over sort of 3 big misconceptions surrounding Anthem and clearing up some of the misinformation and flat out lies in a myth-busting fashion. Before we start, Anthem fans that have had to defend the game online or from friends, what big misconceptions do you feel need addressing? There's a good chance that I've missed some of these or some information surrounding some of the big talking points of the game, so if you know any, do put them in the comments below, just to educate people, I suppose. The first one is a nice simple thing to do with a game. It's not too controversial, but it's surrounding the whole javelins act like classes in other games. Now, I myself and other people do refer to javelins as somewhat being classes, but javelins are the suits within Anthem. There are 4 types that are going to be in at launch, each bringing different styles of play, abilities, and weapons. But let's use this example. You play in World of Warcraft, you have leveled a paladin to level 120. If you want to level a rogue, a mage, a warrior, then you have to start from level 1. It's the same with Destiny. You may have a level 50 titan. Want a hunter? You got to start from the beginning and replay a lot of old content. In Anthem, javelins are not classes that you are locked into. You have a freelancer level and you can switch out your suits as you choose. You could one-trick a Colossus all the way to max level if you wanted, but then you could decide if you want to play a Storm Javelin, you can do. You don't need to start from the first mission all over again. Granted, your suit might be worse because you don't have the gear for it because you've been too busy playing a Colossus and getting all of the gear on that character, but you can decide to play whatever javelins you would like, so long as you go to your Strider or Fort Tarsis, both instanced places, to switch out your gear and your javelins. As another quick misconception to add, you don't start off with all of these suits unlocked. You start with the ranger suit, and then through missions and quests, I guess, you will unlock the rest. Once we know how to unlock said javelins, we'll go over it on the channel, but I'm pretty sure we'll only know that when we get to play the game. And that goes nicely onto misconception number 2, and that's if I don't pre-order the game, I will not have an opportunity to demo or try the game out. EA introduced the game's launch plan last month, and with it we found out that there is going to be a launch date, which will be February the 22nd. You will also get access to the game a week earlier through EA Access, or Origin Access if you are a member of that. But there is also a demo available on February the 1st for those members that we've just gone over, but also those that pre-ordered. So yes, whilst the demos are locked behind pre-orders and exclusive membership, this has very little to do with any potential alphas or betas that the game may have. Now, we've been teased that this may be a thing online, just bits and pieces. We don't inherently know many details about it, for example, when and where and how to get invited to a beta, for example. We also don't know if it's going to be a closed or open beta, so because of that, there's still a lot of stuff up in the air. It's important to fact check stuff first and making sure that you keep up to date with all of the information. I'm pretty sure I'll make a video when the beta date gets revealed and how to get involved if you want to, so just make sure to subscribe to the channel and keep up to date with all of the news coming from here. But this was just a point to say that the opportunity to play and try out Anthem isn't inherently just locked behind a paywall exclusively, it's just that we don't have any more details of open demos for people to try and play the game. And of course, EA and BioWare want to incentivize people that have pre-ordered the game and are members of their clubs to be rewarded in-game either by playing it earlier or getting a chance to play it. But it's more point that demos don't equal betas, and that to play the game before launch, you don't need to inherently pre-order the game. Now let's go over the big one. Microtransactions with anything to do with EA is always going to be a big talking point with the previous past that they've had. And now we're going to have a look at the microtransactions of Anthem. The huge misconception here is that it's EA, so of course it'll be riddled with loot boxes, paid DLC, buying stuff to make you better in-game, all forms of way to grab your cash. Well, actually, again, not really. Granted, there are microtransactions in Anthem, but it's all purely cosmetic and you know what you're buying. There is no loot boxes, and all DLC in the future will be free. So for example, if you see a skin in the shop that you like, you buy that skin, you do whatever you want. You will not get an ability that will make you better at the game, that will speed up the process of you leveling and getting gear. It's all purely for cosmetics. And it's not mired with loot boxes, ways to make yourself stronger, and also the paid DLC. All of that is going to be free for the foreseeable future, so for the most part, Anthem has been pretty good about that. It does have microtransactions, but let's be honest, what games don't nowadays? And in comparison to previous stuff that EA has pulled, it's a lot better. I kind of wanted to make this a list of 5 big misconceptions, but the last 2 that I did want to mention briefly, I feel like we just don't have enough information on them. And that is the actual story within Anthem and also the endgame content. I think these are going to be bigger topics to talk about in separate videos, especially the story of Anthem, as in comparison to older BioWare games, Anthem seems to be lacking in comparison to Mass Effect or Dragon Age. The story-driven games, Anthem pales in comparison, but again, we don't really know how that compares. We're still finding out more information on it. But there are 3 big misconceptions that I feel that the game has: how the Javelins actually work in the game, the pre-launch stuff to do with the game, and also microtransactions, which is perfectly understandable why people should be critical of this, but I feel that there's a lot of information out there for Anthem that people just don't know. For example, that there isn't any loot boxes, or it's looking likely that there will be a beta for Anthem 2, and also that the suits are just suits. You swap them out like a new pair of shoes. You don't need to level them from scratch and start the game all over again. But they're big things I wanted to cover, as I said at the start of the video. If you do know any others that we haven't covered, do let them know in the comments below. Like and subscribe for more Anthem content, it would be appreciated. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you soon.